One Israeli soldier from an elite unit got was in hand-to-hand combat with an Hezbollah terrorist and eliminated him with a knife. That also happened.
Wait,
So,
say that
yes.
again.
In hand-to-hand combat, an Israeli commando eliminated a Hezbollah terrorist with a knife. Hand-to-hand
And that
combat with a
happened
knife.
today.
That
That happened
happened
today.
in the last 30 or so hours, 30, 36 hours, yeah. Day and a half.
Holy fuck. That is so
Yeah, so
badass.
this is how intense and close the fighting is. I'm not sure, guys, right? Ceasefire, just hit them a little bit less. The Strait of Hormuz open just means that it's a little bit less closed than before. This is what we're dealing with.
Wow, that is pretty badass. These are warriors, guys. Are there any Israelis here? Or I think most of them are sleeping now. But fucking proud of you, man. You guys have some amazing fighters. Fucking warriors.
Yeah, so it seems like their operations this week have been targeting a Hezbollah stronghold by the name of Ali al-Tahir, which is in South Lebanon. And they've been hammering it. Tanks, troops, airstrikes, everything. And that's where they've managed to kill around 100 Hezbollah terrorists. Yes.
Amir is still with us. Look at this. Amir is still here with us. Thank you. Respect.
And so our next super chat here. Oh yeah, and by the way, we'll discuss what that means in terms of IRGC in a second. But Jahangiri Victor is saying, sorry, no, I mean this regime will be gone by that time. I think he means the next 2 years. I mean the oil island, Karg Island. Oh, you want joint ownership of the Strait and Karg Island? I mean, oh my God.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
The regime would have a heart attack at even the mention of that.
So if you're talking about the joint ownership of Karg Island after the regime falls, if you're saying that, is that what I mean? No, the regime will be gone by that time. Yeah, I think you mean by. I think if that's what you mean, I don't think that's something that the new government in Iran would be okay with, and I don't think that's something the Americans would want anyways, because that would be a violation of the border integrity and the natural resources. I think the Americans would be satisfied with the fact that the Iranian oil is now entering, the oil market freely. I think that's what they would be happy with that. They wouldn't need joint, to, for them to have joint operation. I mean, they could have operations with building the island, but I don't think when it comes to ownership, the United States would be happy just the fact that oil is entering the market and it's bringing oil prices down. Yeah. But I don't know if I'm understanding the point, though. If I'm understanding it correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And Wyatt, welcome. Saying Guy suggested watching extremist videos, picking them apart, praising the good and exposing bad ideas. This would be good at de-radicalizing people. Like extremist political takes, exposing bad ideas.
When it comes to, let me tell you this: when it comes to like people with radical views, if you want to change their opinions, it does make sense to try to find something that they write about, and then tell this to them as a way to get their guards down, and then talk about their other ideas that you're against. So it is a good strategy, like even with somebody with like the most, with views that are completely against everything you stand for. If you're trying to talk to them and convince them, it does bring their guard down if you find something that you agree with them and highlight that.
Good idea. Maybe I'll start looking for some. And thanks, Wyatt. And we have Jahangiri Victor, who says, you cannot compare Persians to anyone else you mentioned. We will be able to fight in a way no one but Israel does. with tactics. Oof, I'm looking forward to that.
But Jahangir, not just Persians, all Iranians. Persians, Kurdish, Bakhtiyari, Gilaki, Azeri, Turkmen, Baluchi, Arab. We have a 3% Arab population, and our Bakhtiyari Iranians are some of the most fierce fighters. So them too. Yes.
You know, I think he would very much like to join one of
Jews.
these forces.
Yes.
Oh yes,
I think
Jews.
Jahangir is waiting to join. Yeah.
The Jews.
Jews. We have Iranian Jews. Sorry, I forgot Jews in Iran. Yes, them too. But Ali, this reminds me this reminds me of the fact that we have to remind people that Savak used to be trained by Mossad.
Yeah, they did. They would go to Israel. They would sit in classes and learn from Mossad agents, and they would come back to Iran.
Somebody
Pictures of that, so no one can say it's not true. And fleshy interloper.
Lior was asking how many Jews live in Iran. I just looked it up. Between 8,000 to 15,000 right now.
Wow, very low.
So much more. Yeah, very low. It used to be so much more.
Yeah. Wow. And fleshy interloper saying Strait is only 20% open. Not sure MOU is working. Exactly. Remember, guys, the Strait being open is just, it's a little bit less closed. That's all it means.
So bring back the blockade then, if they're not opening it.
Yeah. But apparently both sides are broadcasting messages that the Strait is still closed. So I think what is happening is each side is trying to get the advantage from the other one. They want to see who's going to open it first, to have the assurances, I guess. And the Islamic Republic is still not opening it. So remember, they're playing the Israel-Lebanon card, and they've canceled talks. They're saying we're not even going to talk at this point.
It would be disappointing if the blockade is removed and the Strait is closed. That would be disappointing.
Because Iranian, like these oil tankers from Iranian ports have transited the Strait of Hormuz and are in international waters. Saeed Ghassanejad, Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi's right-hand man and also the oil expert for Iran, has estimated that these ships that have left have brought in $1.5 billion in revenue for the regime already. Already. It's been a few days. So wow. This is a disaster if the blockade is removed and they get to sell their oil, but then all these oil ships don't get to leave.
That would be
Now we'll see if Project Economic Fury by Scott Bessent does something about this money, because a lot of these tankers, guys, are they're gray area in terms of legality. They're shadow fleet ships. They're not owned by the Islamic Republic directly. They're flagged out of like, Bolivia or like Vietnam or some other country. So there's some area there. We'll see what Scott Bessent does about it. Pokigo says Israel is part of an excuse, actually a trap for the IRGC. Who's also been a member for 1 month. Thank you.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.